That island is called Coin Island, a place of rescue in the past when boats got wrecked. And sailors would make their way to it and hopefully get picked up by another boat. Off in the distance there is Forbes Island, where I'm going to now. I'll be there in about 3.5 hours. So, I'll bring you up to pat what's happened. I've given up on my targets on the boats. Water is just too murky. For me to go in the water and do a dive, I could risk my life with tiger shark up to 10-foot visibility. It looks clean, but it's all murky blue. So I decided to abort. I was going to spend a day or two in this area. It's after the strong wind warning, and of course, you know, the water's all murky. On the outer reef it'll be really clean, but I'm going to make my way to Forbes Island and just hang out there for a little while. Back behind me in a place, it's supposed to be a Spanish ship, and there's no way I can prove that until you destroy the reef to dig it up. So I just don't want to be, you know, blowing in the wind, searching for myths, which would take me to shore and then look for 9 Spanish soldiers on a mountain that's huge. I risk my life. I found out that there's a lot of dope growers and people go missing, and I've got to deal with crocs where I park my boat. It's just something I feel it's just wrong doing it when you're by yourself. So I guess this is a bit of a vlog here at the moment for myself to realise it's just going to be too hard to do what I wanted to achieve, and just go and enjoy my boat and just sail, get back to civilization and get around family, look for a job I suppose, and just dream about being back out on the boat. It's like apocalypse now. When I'm here, all I want to do is be back there, and when I'm there, all I want to do is be back here. Don't want to get too soft. I've been out at sea for 3.5, 4 months now, and I'm still going further north. It's a long way back. I've got to get the right winds. Anyway, just basically talking to the camera on how I feel. I'm going to make my way to Forbes Island, search it out, just circumnavigate it in walking and get on top of the mountain, look at some Neolithic rocks, and then make my mind up if I'm going to go north further or make my way south. It's supposed to be an early cyclone season, not good to be caught out. Anyway, it's quite a nice bird habitat island that is. Do a bit of a film on it. Thousands of birds live on that island. Surrounded by rocks, so I can't really park my boat anywhere. I think there's a little beach on the other side. Lots of bird poop. I don't want to disturb them. There's a bit of a beach. At the moment there's not much wind, but as the tide comes in I'll probably get a breeze. I was planning on camping on the island, visiting it, but at the moment I'd have to wait for the tide to come up just to get on that beach there. It's possible there's crocodiles. They seem to be everywhere. That's my view from the back of my boat. My lounge chair. Well, I'm coming up to Forbes Island. Wind's about 10 knots. Still have the motor because I'm going off the breeze a bit. But I'm going to park around the other side on the beach where there's some coconuts and chill out. It's just a couple of islands all together. It's like a miniature lizard island, this place. Very barren. No people. Anchorages on all angles of wind. There's a beautiful anchorage just inside here on this beach, and there's an old grave and a well and a couple of coconut trees. I'm going to go check them out. This is where I'm going to live for a couple of days. National Parks came along and cut down all the coconut trees, unfortunately. It's a real bummer. There's a couple left. Always put 2 anchors out when I leave the boat. Here on the beach of Forbes Island at the moment. Got the whole place to myself. I'm going to go walk down there and see the coconut trees, see if there's been any crocodile footprints on the beach. That's what I'm looking at. There's actually a well here. Quite a few dead bodies, and there's a grave, but I'll see what I can find. Man, has it been burnt out lately? Well, I think I might bring my boat down this way. It's a pretty nice spot to hang out at these coconuts. I just like being next to coconuts, but isn't that great, hey? Coconuts. What a bunch up there. A few fresh ones on the ground, I might get them to eat later. But it's a pity I've just missed some people by the look of it that have already walked along this beach. But I've got to try and find the well because apparently there's water in it. I'll check that out. Boy, there's some nice coconuts. Just good to see that you can survive. Coconut represents food, shelter and water, living water. I've got quite a bit to explore. Hopefully might get myself a fish on a lure. And it's just a pretty lonely place, hey? Well, at the moment there's no one around me, so it feels that way. There's always a bottle dump on an island. Lots of metal being collected here. Pretty old stuff. It's an old cooktop. There is quite a few dead bodies on this island. I came here a long time ago with Ben Crop in the year 2000 and stood over a grave that had a cross and there was a well. I don't know if that's the well. Oh, there's a cross over there. So I'll get to that. I'm going to look for the well. Old pots and pans and things. What's left. And survivors. So a lot of people lived, got rescued on this island. Lots of metal everywhere I'm walking on at the moment. And I'll try and find the well, see what's going on. Oh, here's the water well. See if there's anything in it. Oh, that's heavy. Okay, yeah. There's water down there. Amazingly done. It's just totally rock lined. It goes down, I can see about 20 feet where there's water right down the bottom there. It's if you're starving, it's drinkable. But it's just interesting looking at the rocks the way they are. All the way down, there's the water down the bottom there. Very well made in its time. There's the house over there. It's up on this hill a bit. And that's the subterranean water. Probably filtered of salt water coming through and then becoming fresh this high up. But that's pretty good. Nice view. This is part of the old settlement that was here. People lived and traded. A lot of iron rock. Pad, house pad. Another big house pad here. Survived lots of cyclones and big surges. Time of the 1800s. Look at this for some gear. Old pots and pans. Relics of the island. Good to see that people haven't taken anything. It's alright to look and touch. But just think someone cooked in that, had a cup of tea every morning. Left on the big fireplace, an argo. Here's the legs to it. Very rare item, these legs, to find. It's good to see it's all part of what's left. Metters. M-E-T-T-E-R-S. That's a door on an oven. Old kerosene lamp. Porcelain water bowls maybe. So this is the house homestead. That's probably the toilet block. And this is Frederick Lancaster. Pay respects. 1912, age 56. Erected by his two sons, John and Charles, and daughter, Flora and H. Gilbert, who died at Forbes Island. Sad story, but you'd know a lot of as this guy would in his time. Apparently somewhere here there's another grave of a diver who was out on the reef a long time ago, found in a hard hat diving suit, and his body was buried somewhere next to this guy, apparently fresh. There's footsteps here, so someone's been here not long ago. Looks like a girl's footstep. So first time back to Forbes Island since 2000. Very interesting, nice. Tomorrow I'm going to go up the hill and fly my drone. Just see how it is. Just got to find this well. Well, interesting. Just paying my respects to the dead. Frederick, he's in rest at the moment until resurrection. But he put his hands to all his work here. Anyway, found the well, found the grave site, what's left of the house site. Who knows, there's probably a story buried in a can underneath the ground here somewhere. Might have something to say at the time. Interesting piece of steel. It's like an old handle to a ladle that goes in the oven for melting stuff. Anyway, I'm going to get back to the boat and park it over there under the coconut trees. Dead turtle bones. Man's rubbish. Actually, there's a brick site here. Interesting. There's old brickwork. Probably one of the first wells. The foundation to a house, maybe. It's now a grave for a turtle. Sad to see quite a few of the coconut trees have been chopped down. I found all the bases over there. Some old metal relics. Anyway, back to the boat and get myself some rest. It's been a big day. I've done a lot of exploring out in the ocean and came up with nothing. Water was too dirty. I wasn't going to risk my life going in the water just to find a wreck. Malachi's at rest in the corner there. Just getting an aerial shot of the coconuts down on the beach. Beautiful little area. Sailing boat off in the distance. Nice little beach down there. On a little island just off Forbes. Well, right now I'm on the highest point of Forbes Island. I've managed to put a little rock on the top there of other rocks that people have been here. And this is the top of a great island. It's like a small lizard island. Beautiful waters, the odd crocodile comes out here, lots of sharks, tiger sharks. Lone sailing boat out there. Way over there is Hagerson and Hicks and Cape Grenville, and way over there is the Charles Hardy Islands, and lots of reefs in between everywhere. I'm sort of at a pinnacle point of my time right now, and being in the middle of the nowhere and you're by yourself, it's very hard to go diving and take the risk because of the report of tiger sharks everywhere. The water's very warm, and at the moment I've got a good wind to make my way back. And I'm thinking of going back to Restoration Island, wait for the next good wind to make my way south down to Lizard, and then eventually back to Port Douglas. So I guess I'm going to pull the pin at this point, because I'm coming up in the cyclone season, and I'm a long way if anything happens now, if something breaks. And the tip of Cape York's only 2 days away, but to get caught up there, I need invites to go to other islands, and I have to use a phone a lot. And apparently there's a lot of thieving going on where I park my boat on certain places. I take that risk. So at this point I'm going to find myself at peace to basically call it quits and don't regret that I haven't gone any further. That's the hard part. Go back to civilization, get a job, get caught up amongst people again. But I've had a good time. Had a great sail, met lots of people, found some interesting things, nothing special, but it's been a good journey. I guess a lot of people would like to do what I'm doing if they had the chance. So I guess at this point I'm calling it quits. And my mum's in hospital, she's not well. She's 85. She had a stroke, and I should be seeing her before she departs from this earth. Show us some sailing films. So anyway, I guess that's it. I've sort of made a decision. I was struggling last night thinking about it. If I go any further, I'm only going to film more islands just like this with nothing on it. It'd be good to come back with a person, share it with. Good female helpmate or something like that. It's pretty hard to find one that wants to do all this sort of stuff. Take the good with the bad. Anyway, I'm happy. I still feel strong. And I guess I've got to stay committed to my decision and not regret it. Just nice little anchorage bays everywhere on this place. Part of Forbes. Like I could park right there if I wanted to. There's that sailing boat. I might hook up with it later. Sailing company. Ships on the horizon. That's Hagerson in the background, and Charles Hardy Islands are way over there. Anyway, I got a split. At the moment the tide's the boss, and I don't want to be high and dry and lose a good day of the right wind to make my way south. So there's Nick Malachi on Forbes Island. The furthest north I've been by myself. And I guess I'm just worn out. Haven't got much to say. So I'm going to make myself that way. It's Portland Roads to Restoration Island.